What's up, YouTube? This is Jacob Chavarria. Some people know me as Coach Chavi. We're here in my raised garden bed, elevated gardening, if you will. I'll take you on a quick tour. First video posting, first intro. Let's just get right to it. Not waste any of your time, not waste my time. Let's show you what we got going on. So one of the first things I did was I actually built a rain capture system. So I capture all my rainwater in these two totes, and in front of them I built a trellis system, and this is where my berries grow. It's kind of dappled sun right here, but I got blackberries, raspberries, goji berries, all kind of growing here. So the goal is to get these to grow up and kind of hide this from you ever really seeing it. It's a process. It's taking some time, but there's the blackberries I got, and I actually picked some of those up on clearance. Caught a sweet deal on some of these blackberries. Got some last year, hoping to get an even better crop this year. So my garden layout, this is kind of running east to west for reference. So this is the classic south-facing brick wall. Lately it's been super cold, so I have everything covered with cloches, and then I roll an ag fabric over the top of that at night. Really, I don't have to put anything over these. Most of these crops that I got growing are carrots, kale, herbs. They can take the cold, but with it getting down to 13 degrees at night, I have a bunch of new carrot sprouts going. So these carrots just kind of started sprouting up. So I have them covered, so hopefully the cold temperatures over the next few days won't affect them. And then I can pop them open and I should get a good round of spring carrots and stuff like that. Almost all of these are done in 7 to 5 gallon grow bags. I got a couple of large grow bags. I tried to grow some pumpkins and stuff in those last year, and I just left them and reused them for carrots. Then I have a big raised bed. It's kind of hard to see at this angle coming through this little corridor brick, but I have a dome structure over the top. That's where I put my plastic fabric over. All of this bed is pretty much DIY. So this is wood scraps that I found, metal pieces, aluminum pieces that I found from work, and all the wood too came from pallets. The only thing I really bought were the screws, the metal for the frame for the trellis system back there. So there's a kettle panel trellis, and then some PVC pipe, and that was just to help hold the plastic in place. I kind of didn't like this system. I tried it 2 years in a row, and we get super windy here in West Texas, so man, it just flings around. And to be honest with you, most of my greens here, as you can tell height wise, aren't that tall. So in my raised bed, I've just been going with the ag fabric now, and then if I need a cloche for something, then I'll just pop a cloche out. It is kind of middle of winter, starting to get warm now, so some of my greens have actually started to bolt. So I got some bok choy that bolted, some Chinese cabbage that bolted, but overall my greens have done very well. So whenever it gets super cold, what I've been doing is putting all my pots along this railing, and I'm using the cloches and some taller pots to keep the fabric off of the greens, and you know, just kind of letting the cold temperatures happen, and then when it warms back up, I've just been kind of draping it over that, so I'll put it up and I can bring it back out. This is what I call the big boy bed. I call it the big boy. It's my biggest bed that I have. It's basically 3 foot by 6 foot, and then I have a 2 foot by about 5 foot section. So I kind of do square foot gardening, but I don't really follow the rules. I just kind of play with it, figure it out. You can kind of tell it's kind of laid out in a grid, but I've just sprinkled carrots in between. I've got onions and chives growing in between. Kind of a dead spot right here. I had some stuff that flowered, so this is here really to act as a high point in the middle, so my fabric can drape over. I'm out in West Texas, we don't get much rain or snow. If I actually got that type of stuff with my fabrics, I'd actually put, you know, some form of piping or PVC, do the actual hoops, but we don't get any of that out here very often. And then past couple of years, I've also tried these kind of raised pots similar to like a green stock. This is actually a Dollar Tree one, and when I brought these from that dumpster dive, basically it had holes already. So I have a metal conduit running through there, and then I can start to rotate it whenever I need to. So it's super convenient for me. Makes it really, really simple. And this is kind of the general layout this spring. The plan is to put some, you can see it, that's a peek of the future sip tubs I'm gonna make, or self-wicking tubs. I'll have some self-wicking tubs along this fence line. I'll have the big boy bed. And then the plan is to get rid of these grow bags, and all of this section will end up being self-wicking tubs. And I'll probably put my trees, some fig trees and some other items out here. And then this other section of my yard is more like a desert scape. And I kind of have just an open area right here. So this is like the southwest corner of my yard, just to kind of give you reference. So this southwest corner is where all my gardening happens. There's the full structure. In the summers, I mean, this is a huge, I normally grow cherry tomatoes there, so I'll have cherry tomatoes all the way up that. But yeah, this is the full garden tour, winter garden tour for 2025. Kind of what I have growing in this east to west corridor. And yeah, I just experiment, I just try stuff. Really, I'm just trying to figure out what varieties of plants grow really well, what is kind of worth even trying to grow, what I like. You know, try to grow things that you like to eat, and hopefully kind of got encouraged to start posting, because so many of my friends out here don't grow food and don't grow gardens, and I really couldn't find anything for West Texas or the desert because our climate is so crazy. We get up in the 80s and then we'll be freezing again. So finding somebody who's in that environment and actually growing food and growing plants and growing it in a way that I grow it, in an elevated bed. I don't have a huge plot. I don't have a big like market garden. This is basically a 4 by probably 8. It's just really tall because of my Great Danes. So yeah, this is what we got going. I'll keep posting, keep updating, hopefully kind of get some followers and some people who are interested in this stuff, and maybe we'll end up growing this Permian Basin gardening community. All right guys, to the next one.